Welcome to episode number 2 of Braggin' About Business, proudly sponsored by Cowboy Trail Brewery. Cheers to the West. This week, we sit down with the Earl himself, Rich Kilbride of Big Earl's Dirt and Snow out of Redwood Meadows, Alberta. Rich is one of the most down-to-earth gentlemen I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. He also knows a thing or two about fencing, which is how I originally met him as he built our acreage fence. We talk about the great community of Redwood Meadows, how other local landscape construction companies work together rather than cutthroat compete, his path to starting Big Earl's, and yes, we even get a little political. Enjoy. Well, we're here this week with Big Earl's Dirt and Snow, Rich Kilbride, owner and operator, landscape maintenance and construction servicing Redwood Meadows, Bragg Creek, Priddis, Springbank, and the surrounding areas. Welcome to Braggin' About Business.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Right on. No,
Yeah.
we're looking forward to having you on for a while.
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excited for you and your new venture.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, good.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about Big Earl's.
Well, because you mentioned a local landscape construction company doing anything from lawn maintenance to building driveways, landscape construction, snow removal, debris removal, hauling. I kind of, started off about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, I guess, and kind of started off doing whatever. I guess as time goes on, I'm kind of focusing a little bit more, narrowing it down. But
Right.
for now, we got a wide berth of services.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Well, I met you because you installed our fence.
Yes. And I noticed on the drive-in, it's still standing.
It is beautiful. There's a few trees, small trees that have come down on it, but it's holding together.
It was actually it was a challenging fence, as you know. Your property is very steep.
It is in places. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good.
It's good.
Yeah.
No, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
That was excellent. So how did you end up at Bragg Creek or Redwood Meadows?
So we moved. We had been living in the west side of Calgary, community called Springside.
You were born and raised
Calgary, both Steph and I, and we'd built a house in Springside, beautiful place. And then Steph had some health challenges and she was in a wheelchair for a while, and we needed a bungalow. And so we were actually looking in Bonavista Vista area. I grew up in the southeast there, and there was a bungalow came up, and whatever, we were looking, and I got online to find the address, and this is 2002-ish.
Okay.
So the website, the internet's not quite like it is today, but somehow I got directed to this address in Redwood, and Steph and I are like, hey, let's go have a look at that. I'd never been to Redwood Meadows, and we went in, and it just showed up, knocked on the door. The current homeowner didn't really want us to go in without a realtor, so we called our realtor, and anyways, we put an offer in that night. That was it.
And that's over 20 years ago.
Yeah, 22, coming up on 22 years. Looking back, it's crazy. My family thought we were crazy, and we were crazy.
Young and foolish.
Yes, exactly.
What a great move for you, though.
Awesome. So good. Such a great community.
It is.
Yeah. We've got 3 kids, and so they, raised them all there, and just such a different lifestyle than living in the city.
Yeah. Absolutely. We spend every Halloween in Redwood.
Yeah.
All the major holidays. There's always
That's right.
people put effort into.
Oh yeah.
Decorating and just creating that atmosphere for the whole family.
Yeah. There is some good community participation, that's for sure.
It's awesome. And the fireworks on New Year's in Canada.
I know, we got great fireworks. It's crazy for just such a little community, right? We're lucky.
It's a special place. It's a great place to raise a family.
Yeah.
So when you moved out to Redwood, you weren't doing landscaping at that time.
No, I was a corporate sales guy. I was selling print at the time, wide format printers, things along those lines, for equipment to do that kind of work. My office was in the northeast, like it was a hike, or so it seemed, but I don't know. It wasn't bad, I guess. You get used to the drive, especially as Calgary grew, right? Because pick a spot in, sort of the outer ring of Calgary, you're on the road for 45 minutes an hour, and it's no different than it is from here, but it's nice highway driving.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up in Manitoba. It took an hour to get anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Or more.
Yeah, so you get used to the drive.
Yeah.
And when you're driving west, it doesn't get any better.
Oh, your blood pressure starts to subside, and you just relax after the day of work, right?
Absolutely. So you did the the sales corporate gig.
Yep.
And printing for how long?
I did that for about, I want to say about 10 years. And I did oil and gas drilling fluids for about 10 years as well. And then I went back to really print around sort of office services, let's call it, and things around there. Anyways, 2019, I was like, I'm done. I went and got my class 1 and I went trucking.
Nope.
And then, I don't know, just one thing led to another. And now here I am.
Now you're a Big Earl.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I should have done it years ago. I really didn't think I would enjoy working outside because I'd never done it. It's like, I get a, office job and it's pretty nice. And, yeah, but so good. So enjoy it so much.
Yeah. Oh, well, obviously in the service.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So how do you like being an entrepreneur?
I like it. It's, it's challenging. I'm learning, but it's good. I think, my life as a sales guy kind of prepared me for a lot of stuff, certainly from the business side of things a little bit, the money aspect, cash flow, things like that. But there's lots I don't know, obviously. It's good. It's learning. I got good friends. I got friends that know stuff and I lean on them and they help me and,
That's a great part about the community.
It is. Yeah. So far, so good.
Excellent. That's what I'd like to hear.
Yep.
And you're not the only landscaping servicing company out here either. Right?
No, there's a number of us. And it's one of the unique things too. Like I feel like, people I've been asked before, like, who's your competition? I don't really have, like, most of the guys, we work together,
right.
Like I get referred from others and I'll refer to other people that I think could do a better job than I could on a certain thing. And
people appreciate that too.
I think so. Yeah. It's like, I'd rather have people happy than me do a crap job. And, that doesn't serve any purpose for anybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just find it's very unique that way.
Yeah. Not to be cutthroat competitive.
No.
Like what I can imagine probably larger metropolitan areas could be.
Yeah. Or like what sort of the old corporate sales
too
is like, right? So no, it's good. It's good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend, or what do you think somebody who might be thinking of starting a business in Bragg Creek as an entrepreneur, what tips would you give to them?
I would say just go for it. I had been offered or approached for starting different businesses and doing different things over the years. And I just never had the balls to do it. And now that I've done it, I'm like, should have done it years ago.
Right.
Just should have done it. That's easier said than done because there's still bills that need to be paid and all of that. But I say go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I know even starting this podcast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negative self-talk in your own mind. Like why it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
My old man always had to say, he goes, anybody can see the good in something. You really got to work at it to see the bad.
Yeah, that's true. It's true though.
Right? But, and so it can very easy to talk yourself out of these big decisions in life.
Yeah.
But if you silence that guy in your head.
Yeah.
And like you said, just go for it.
Yeah. Just do it. And then try to surround yourself with people that know things where you don't know, like that's nothing new. No. It's not, any breaking info, but we just don't know everything. And don't be afraid to be the dumbest guy in the room.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to ask questions. Like I drive my family crazy because I ask a lot of questions of them, but I also ask everybody questions. And because one, I'm usually genuinely interested, but when I don't know something, I want to know. And I'm just not afraid to show that I don't know. So I think that's helpful.
Totally. I'm not afraid of looking dumb.
No.
I need to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It kind of goes with my mouth's always yapping. So
right on.
Yeah.
So what do you love about Bragg Creek and Redwood Meadows?
The people is one of the big things. It's we just have such a unique, eclectic, diverse group of people. Like literally from what you would picture as the prototypical hillbilly to very affluent high-end income earners. And all mixed. And everybody seems to, I won't say everybody gets along because that's not reality, but I've certainly in my 20 some years here, I've just met so many great people of all different walks. And that's the biggest thing. And then the geography itself is just so beautiful, right? The foothills of the Rocky Mountains are really just a unique area, and the climate that we have, the snowfall, or our winters are relatively mild. We get a couple of weeks of minus 40, maybe some minus 50, but the Chinooks are a big thing.
Big time.
Yeah.
No, that's nice. How has the area changed in the 20 some years you've been out?
It's definitely grown. Density is increasing. Homesteaders that are here selling off chunks of land, and then we're kind of densifying a little bit. I noticed that traffic is
increased.
Yeah, a lot, especially Highway 8. Like, when we first moved out, there was hardly any traffic on there. Now it's just constant, but definitely people. There's a lot more. There's more people. There's just more traffic.
Totally. Yeah. Well, when you get our first stoplight a few years ago, right?
Yeah. Well, when we moved here, the roundabout wasn't there.
Right.
It was a stop sign. I remember when that went in, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this roundabout. But I will say, sometimes you would wait at that stop sign and be like, come on, buddy, go, go, go. That's an improvement. And even the light, light, I hated it at the start. Like, this is stupid. And then I think they had some challenges with the original programming, like lineups were just brutal, right? But now it's like, it's been pretty good.
You don't see much of a lineup.
No.
And there's weekend. There's traffic.
That's right. And man, he used to wait in that 4-way stop on weekends for ever. So anyways, apparently some change is good.
Some change is good. Yeah, you gotta change the time.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they tell me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What was your first job? Do you remember?
First job ever?
Yeah. Well, with Big Earl.
When I first started, it was going into winter, so I sublet to another guy, local guy, Walsh Equipment, Justin, and I did a bunch of work for him, plowing and driving his dump truck, like hauling gravel and stuff. So that would have been my first. Justin gave me my start. He's a great guy too. You should have him on.
All right, we'll look him up.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So, what was your biggest fuck up to date?
Wow, yeah. No, it was though. It was a fuck up. So last year I did a job in Elk Valley. Super nice people, Cindy and Graham. I won't say their last name, but if they listen, they will know who it is. It was not a super difficult job. Should have taken about a 5-day landscaping job, new fire pit, some brickwork, and kind of got started. And then we got rain, and then I had employee challenges with vacation gone away on me, and it just snowballed. And then the rain added a lot of challenges, so the work kind of expanded off of that. I think we started beginning of August and didn't finish till end of September.
Oh wow!
And I really was thinking it was going to be about 5 days. They were beyond great about it, because obviously, what's that? August, September? Yeah, 2 months.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, sorry, it said we'd be in and out in 5 days. I'm at 2 months. Yeah. So anyway, so that wasn't good for them. It wasn't good for me. Financially, it wasn't great, but it is what it is. It was good learning. It was totally my fault. Like, I just didn't manage the people aspect good enough. Yeah.
That's something that sometimes that happens, right? It's like renovating a house. You tear a wall apart and you have a bigger job than you think it's going to be.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. As you know.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. So, no, but other than that, I don't think I've had, I'm sure somebody will reach out and say, oh no, you screwed ours up too. Yeah. But no, I don't think so.
Comments.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So you touched on a good point though about employment in the area.
Yeah.
And we know, talking with other small business owners, that is a concern.
Yeah.
So what's your experience been like?
It's been a challenge for sure. One of the challenges, it's not just finding people that'll work, but then for me, it's insurance. My work is very seasonal. So with that comes seasonal workers a lot, and younger people that are looking for summer jobs, and to insure these kids on vehicles is just brutal. Like, it just absolutely brutal. And so that's a big challenge. I think I've kind of unofficially partnered with another local company called Bragg Creek Country Gardener, Renata, and she's just got a great crew. And we started doing a lot of work together, utilizing her crew, my equipment, that kind of thing. And it's been a good synergy so far. And
You can support each other.
yeah, that's exactly. Yeah. I mean, we operate independently. She's got great girls, and they've been awesome. Two of them worked for me this winter with snow removal, and Emily and Chloe, they just did just an awesome job that I wouldn't have been able to take on the work that I did if it wasn't for them.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sort of building a talent pool, if you will. Right? Because sometimes you need 2 sort of steady people, 3 steady people. And then for a certain project, you need 5 or 8 people for 3 days. Right. And so that's another part of the challenge, but it's like trying to find people that have multiple part-time jobs.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. But yeah, when it comes to the talent pool for employees, that is one problem we have because there's not a lot of population here, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So what's an average day look like for you? I guess it varies from season to season.
It does, yeah.
Does it mean you do snow clearing?
In the winter, I've just been doing snow clearing. So that involves a lot of sitting around, a lot of beer drinking, which is no good or not as good.
Get you on the shovel right now.
On snow removal, you're just waiting and watching. It's screwy on the system because I might start at 2 a.m. and then go for 12 hours, or I might start at 5 p.m. and go for 12 hours, or you just don't know. But anyway, so that's winter. Summertime, we're pretty much busy every day doing anything from lawn maintenance, usually 3 days, maybe 4 days a week. We've got a crew doing that, and then other projects. And it involves actually doing the work. I do a lot of the work myself, as well as meeting with new clients and scoping jobs and then doing proposals and billing and following up on billing and things like that. Yeah, I've been pretty good. I haven't had to do a lot of chasing so far. That's been good. Yeah. That has not been one of my challenges.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you're a nice guy.
Hey, I don't know about that, but I don't know if that's helping or not, but so far so
Can't
good.
Hurt.
Yeah.
Can't hurt, that's for sure. And this winter, I mean, we didn't really have a whole lot of snow between November and March.
No. Yeah, it was not a good snow year. It started off like November. I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
Right?
You get this every 2 weeks or so. It's going to be good. It's going to be gold. But no, yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. What are you going to do?
No, it's true enough.
Steph would really like more snow.
Of course.
Yes. Yeah. She would like me out of the house.
What is one thing about your job that no one agrees with you about?
I don't know. I saw that. I was like, really, I would say like my biggest thing is it's customer service. That doesn't necessarily mean that the customer's always right, because I don't believe that at all.
Rarely right.
Often, right? But I had a lot of sales interactions in my life, and it's kind of, I think it's helped sort of teach me to interact and deal with people, even when things go sideways, in a professional manner, and admit when you're wrong and all those kind of things.
John Deere or Kubota?
John Deere.
All right, there you go.
Yeah. I don't mind the Kubota, but my sales rep Ren would disagree with that.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super. So I'm going to throw some questions at you,
and
you just spout off what comes first thing in comes your head. So, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A pilot. Wanted to be a pilot as a kid, and then I don't know when that stopped. But I then came to the point where I was like, I had no clue what I want to do. I do not know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm still figuring it out. Yeah, exactly.
Right. What did your parents want you to be?
I think they just like really just wanted me to be happy. I don't know. I don't remember them really pushing me towards anything except maybe out of the house. No, even that. Like my parents divorced when I was young. I grew up in my mom's house, and when we were younger, we split time between my mom and my dad's. But they were both pretty good.
I think that's what every parent wants, right? I mean, you got kids.
I got 3 kids now. All I want them is to be happy. I don't even say successful, because what does that mean? Success in whatever your mind. Yeah, it is. I want you to be able to afford a roof over your head and be happy and
independent and
Yeah, all of that.
What was your first job?
My very first job was a paper route, but I almost don't even count it. It was, you're not from Calgary, so you wouldn't know, but it was a paper called the Southside Mirror, and it was once a week or once a month. But a buddy of mine shared the route. This was like grade 5 or 4. Like I was young, and I remember we got like $11 and change a paycheck. And I got that, and he got that. And then he moved away, and I took the whole thing over. It was like 275 houses or something. Like, it was big.
That's a lot of paper.
Yeah, it was. And I still only got $11. And I can remember my mom kind of helping me a bit, but I don't think it lasted long after my buddy moved away.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Yeah. But the first job that I really kind of remember was working at the Calgary Stampede. Did like the front gate. I don't know what they call it, like a gate greeter or something. And I did that in, I think it was grade 9 or so, or 8. And my mom had to forge my ID because I was too young. Yeah. So
back in the day when you could still do that.
That's right. Yeah. Photocopy, smudge, whatever, and so I got a job at the Stampede, and that was great. And then I did that for like every summer for a couple of years because it was enough money to get me through the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
What time period was this in?
80, probably 85, 84, 85, around there to, 86. I graduated high school in 89, and I don't think I did it past grade 10.
That would have been a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you were here for the Olympics then?
Yes.
In 88.
Yeah. That was
special.
Yeah, it was. Speaking of jobs, I got a job serving beer at the Saddle Dome for the Olympics. And I had to do training. And one of the events was, my last event actually, was a Supertramp concert.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was wicked. I didn't see it, but I heard it. And it was great. But then I got busted. They found out that because I used that same fake ID to get me the job. I wasn't 18. And yeah, of course, you had to be 18 to serve beer. And I don't know how it came out, but I got busted. And of course, I got fired. So I didn't get the job for the Olympics. But yeah, I listened to Supertramp.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your favorite job?
My favorite. Well,
maybe this is it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like this has been great, no doubt. But I've had a lot of good jobs where I've had a lot of fun. This may not be on top of the list of an employer's wish list, but I had fun. I had good work colleagues and stuff. My sort of first professional job out of university was with a company called Continental Imaging. And it was a buddy of mine's dad started the company. My buddy Rob worked there, and Steve gave me a job, and I worked there. I think I was there for about 4 or 5 years. And man, we just had a riot.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, mid-20s and stupid. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
What was your worst job?
Fish cannery in Richmond, BC. It was brutal. It was me and a buddy. I was out there playing lacrosse, right? I was just a lacrosse bum. And I had been working at a steel manufacturing plant, made safety grading. Anyways, it was slow, so we got laid off. And we didn't have work, and we both got a job at the cannery, and we lasted one day. So we made first coffee break, and we were both like, we should quit. Like, this sucks. And we made it through the day, and that was it. I didn't even go back. I didn't even get a paycheck. I didn't go back for my paycheck. Yeah.
I imagine the paycheck would have been stuck. Physically stink.
You got used to it. It was.
You were only there for half a day.
But I lived in the community. And so you could
still smell it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They have this, I think it's called a smelter, where all the just the stuff that doesn't get sold, which I don't think is much, goes into. And when that thing is just big furnace, I think, right? And there was a guy in there. Yeah. Incinerator. Yeah. That's it. And this guy drove a skid steer in there and just pushing the stuff in, and it reeked. When that door opened, the whole town stunk. Honest to God. But you got used to it. It's cannery.
It's like living next to a railroad track. You get used to it.
I guess. That was a funny job, though. Yeah.
That would be.
Older Japanese ladies yelling at you.
In Japanese?
Faster. Yeah. I was in fresh fish department, and I had to take the fish, like the big salmon would come off the boat, in buckets, and they'd go at the end of an assembly line, and I would have to take it. I forget if I was like the first or second guy, but I would grab this salmon and you cut it from its ass to its belly, and then you passed it down. And the lady beside me just kept yelling at me, faster, faster. And I'm like, I could barely, my forearm felt like it was this big, right? It was just so, these fish are huge. I'm like, anyways, it was no good.
Oh.
Yeah. And my buddy was in the same area, but in a line over, and there was a fight broke out right beside him because somebody whipped fish guts at him. Yeah, it was crazy. It was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's probably automated by now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Most likely.
Yeah.
What was your favorite subject in school?
In high school and lower, it was phys ed. I was better at math and chemistry. And then university, I did good in math and chemistry, so I went into chemistry.
What's your special skill?
I
can't say drinking beer.
No, not even that. I don't have one. Other than bugging my family, teasing them. I don't play an instrument. I don't juggle. I don't sing.
I'm pretty good at annoying my wife.
Yeah, that's like kind of my skill too, and I'm very good at it.
Have you ever been fired?
Oh yeah.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, many times. I mean, I can't say that I'm proud of it, but it just is what it is. I have a way about me on speaking my mind, and that doesn't always go over well.
Sure.
You talk to Steph, she'd be sometimes like, I come home and it's like, again.
I got a buddy. He's in Ontario, and his goal in life before he retires is to get fired from a job.
Really?
That's what he wants.
Wow.
Yeah, that's his. He goes, I've done it all. I'd really like to get fired.
He's never been fired.
Yeah.
He's doing something wrong.
Right?
Yeah.
He's another guy who likes to speak his mind too.
Sometimes you lose your job because like the market crashes.
Sure. That's not true. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's happened. But
it's redundancy, I guess.
I've also pissed some bosses off.
Man, they probably had it coming.
We'll go with that.
So what's your view right now on the political climate? We'll get really...
Oh, man.
We could probably talk about this for a while.
Yeah.
Let's start locally with Rocky View, because, I mean, we live in Rocky View County.
Yeah.
It's a big county.
I think that's our biggest issue, is that our county's too big and does not represent our area. We are a way different geography than Chestermere, for instance. So I would love to see this county split up.
Each little jurisdiction. I mean, look at Bragg Creek. I mean, economic Kananaskis. You got Foothills County. You got Sutina Nation. You got the Hamlet of Bragg Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Rocky View.
Yeah.
And then you've got forestry that's happening in West Bragg as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that goes on.
There is. And I think City of Calgary has way too much say over our area. I'm not a big fan of this. It's all the municipalities. It's like one big club government. That doesn't represent us.
No.
I'm like post-political, I guess, is a term I've heard. I'm just done with it. I think that the corruption is so far-reaching and so disgustingly obvious and tentacled now. They have very little or no bearing on my life, right? I don't listen to them. They're full of shit, and I just live my life.
You got to block it out. I mean, especially right now. I mean, you look at the news now.
I stopped watching the news during COVID, beginning of COVID. I'd always been like, what are these guys reporting on? Like, this is bullshit. This is all opinionated bullshit. Just give me the facts. I just said that for years. Yeah. And then it just really came to a head.
What's fact? What's fiction?
Yeah.
You don't know anymore.
It's a big industrial complex. Politics, they don't have our best interest in mind. That goes for all of them. When Trump first got elected, I thought, awesome, because he ran on he's going to clear out the swamp and do all that stuff. And I was like, this is it. And he didn't do it. And it's like, okay, people that keep following these people that are liars. And that was all the politicians before him too. It's like, I just don't get it. And, our current Canadian government is the same. I know a lot of people that just are, we got to get rid of the Liberals. And I don't disagree with that per se, but I don't think the Conservatives are any better. Well, like Poliver's been in there forever. What's he done other than give some good news clips and sound bites?
It's amazing because you think about, well, let's look at the neighbors to the south.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the last election. Like, this was the best that they could put forward for that election.
I know.
Two guys that are pushing 80.
Exactly.
It was scary. And you look at Canada, and this is the best we have.
Yeah.
And you don't see anybody kind of being groomed.
Yeah.
Going forward. You just don't see that.
Yeah, for years we've been listening to, we got to save democracy and all this. Well, in our country, we now have a prime minister that never had one election,
No.
right?
Yeah, we didn't vote for him.
No, not one person. Even their own party, like less than 40% or something of them voted, period. And it's everywhere. It's worldwide. I worry about our kids and what the future holds for them, especially economically.
I was at a trade show recently. I was talking to a gentleman. He goes, yeah, this has been a rough week. And it has been a rough week. Ups and downs in the markets, and tariffs on and off. And he goes, but really, he was in Alberta. I've done a lot of research. I've looked at it, a lot of the increases in bankruptcy since November, not just since in the last month.
Since November.
Since November. That really started the avalanche. Companies going under, laying people off, skeleton crews. It is just so chaotic. How can you ever plan? If you've got a good sized business that relies on exporting your goods, I mean, unless you've got a diversified customer base that doesn't include U.S.
Yeah. The whole tariff thing, for one, to me, this is a pump and dump. But they've done that like 3 times, I think.
Right.
And then goes up, right? Sell high.
Just a puppet master.
And to me, it's just like, I don't know, if we had a functioning government, these people would be investigated.
Right. And there was checks and balances at one point in time, but he very selectively removed those.
Interesting times.
So getting back to Big Earl's,
yeah.
As far as the county goes and doing business, have you had to fight any red tape, policies that have kind of interfered with?
Not really.
Growth of your business?
I will say that dealing with the county for permits for some local work can be a challenge, but generally the homeowners dealing with that, but it's still a challenge. And there's hoops that have to go through that. I'm just not a fan of more rules.
Right.
And I think we've got way too many rules. I get we want some controls. You don't want somebody putting in a high-rise tower, things like that. That might be a little extreme, but I just feel like we have to ask permission too often from people that do produce nothing. That's frustrating. I don't know whether we're going to change that.
With our community around here, it is different than 90% of the rest of the county. What's your favorite business in Bragg Creek? Or Redwood? Or
That's tough. When we eat out, we generally eat at Rocky's or the Powderhorn. I love our little hardware store.
Right? Isn't it?
Yeah, cool? Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So handy.
It's surprising what they have.
Yes.
You'd be surprised how often they have what you need.
And it saves you a huge trip to
the
city.
Sometimes I'm in there multiple times a day. It's like, I forgot this, forgot that.
Yeah,
or I didn't realize I needed this. There's just a lot of good businesses that people probably don't even know. You fix a car, Cat Automotive down the road. You can almost get everything done here.
It's a great community.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good time. What would you like to promote? We're heading into the busy season.
Yeah, busy time. Give us a try. Yeah, I said earlier, I do a little bit of everything. I like to think I'm fairly honest about it. If I don't think I can do the job, I don't.
You are. Yeah.
And I'll recommend if I know somebody who will, give me a try. I like a good crew that does great landscaping, sodding, flowers, like Renata really knows her plant life. Tell me where to dig a hole, I'll dig the hole, but I'm not the guy to tell you what to plant there.
That's
right. But I like doing what we'd call the dirt work, driveways, trenching, playing in equipment, playing in the excavator, playing in the skid steer.
You're just a big kid at heart, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah. That is really it. Yeah. So if you need a hole dug, give me a call.
Anything else you'd like to talk about while we're
I would like to thank you for having me. And I would like to thank you and commend you on this venture. I think it's really cool. I have thought about doing a podcast, even a local, and we should talk about this after, but almost like a local little radio station. I'm not on Facebook very much.
Right. Yeah.
And so I miss everything because everybody just assumes, put it on Facebook. And I'm like, well, there's guys like me that hate Facebook and don't go on there. So I miss it, but I would tune in here.
Yeah. 5-10 minutes. I thought about having a spot there for that, like mid podcast. What's going on this week?
Lots of ideas to kind of float.
April 16th, there is the area structure plan meeting at the Bragg Creek Community Center.
That's what the ASP stands for. I was going to ask you, I see the sign. I'm like, what's ASP?
Yeah, I know. I have to look it up too.
Good to know that area structure plan.
Yeah.
It's worth attending.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate your time. Good luck this summer. It's going to be a busy year.
Yeah.
Hopefully the fires stay away and
you
get lots of moisture, get the grass growing for you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.